What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph!
You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight, alright, we're coming back to Aldious. Yes, indeed, Aldious Fans FEELIN YOU. Come on now. Here we go. Before we go any further, for those of you who are feeling inclined to doing all of the clicks and the likes and the bibbity-boobity bop, do me a favor, before you do all that stuff, please watch the whole video first, okay? Give me a chance to actually earn those clicks and likes. Now, after the video's done, if you still feel like doing all those clicks and likes, then by all means, feel free to click away. This comes as a request from Zachary Loomis, and this is actually Zachary's prioritized request for the month of March for being a silver tier member on the Patreon page. So, here you go, Zach. Hope you enjoy the show, man. Zachary wanted to see me react to this song by Aldious called Refire. Now, have I heard the song before? No, I have not. To the best of my knowledge, this does not resonate with me in any way, shape, or form. However, there's always a possibility I may have heard the song in passing and I just don't realize it. So as always, if I start listening to the song and I suddenly go, wait a second, hold it, I've heard this song before, I'll let you know.
That's the truth.
You know me, I'm going to be honest with you guys. Let's see, this is a live show. I have a full and complete live show here. I'm supposed to start at 0:00, so at the very beginning of the video. I'm supposed to stop at 6:10. We'll see how that goes. This was posted by Heavy Metal Is the Law, okay? And the video has 70 views. There you go. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. Link to the original video will not be down below in the video description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Zach asked me to keep the link private, and it's his request, so of course, I'm going to abide by his wishes. So sorry about that, folks, but no link down there for you. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. Aldious, Radiant A live at O East. So like I said, this is a full and complete show. I was told to start at 0, so this is the show opener without question. And I'm supposed to stop at 6:10. So we'll see how that goes. You know me, sometimes I hit the mark, sometimes I don't. All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
Oh, there Light them up, crowd spawn. Guys, if you're gonna clap, clap to the beat of the song, please. Here's the tempo. Down, da, 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 down, da, 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 da. And they're clapping. It doesn't make sense. it just, I don't know. As a musician, that just irritates the hell out of me. It really does. Are you folks really incapable of clapping along with the beat? Is it really that hard?
That's pitiful. I mean, it's absolutely pitiful.
No, it's not. So why are you doing it? Anyway. All right. Plug in. Man, that drummer. That drummer, man, I swear, I love her. She really understands placement. What I mean by that is she's playing in double time, right? She's got that double time feel going. The snare, you're getting 4 snare hits per measure, so that you got that double time feel happening. But she really knows when to switch it up. And I don't mean by switching feel. I mean keeping the same double time feel going. But instead of putting the snare on 1, 2, 3, and 4, she'll switch it up and put the snare on the upbeats instead. On the and. So sometimes, usually, she's on the upbeats. Dot, 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 dot. And then other times, she'll switch it to the downbeats. Dot, 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 dot. And it's something that you just, it's something that drummers have this innate ability to do. They know, like, really good drummers, great drummers, they'll know which one to do where and when to switch it up and when to go back. They have this innate sense, and She does such a great job of it. On top of that, she's doing a great job when she does go into the straight time. During the course of the verse, the first four measures are no, sorry. First two measures are, is it two or is it four? 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. No, it's two. It's two. Okay, so two measures of straight time, then two measures of double time. Two measures straight time, two measures of double time. She's really good at transitioning in and out of them too. I know I'm spending a lot of time talking about the drummer, I know, but I feel like she's really showing off her chops and her feel, her ability to transition with feel at appropriate times in appropriate places. She's really showing that off well. Nothing to take away from anybody else on the stage. Guitars sound good, bass sounds good, vocals sound good, everybody sounds good, okay, across the board. I got no complaints. But the drummer is really, at least in my opinion, the drummer is really stealing the show with this song. Let's keep going here. I like it. Bass. $6.10. Haha. Got it. Okay. Honestly, there's not a lot to talk about. I mean, everything across the board was done very well. Okay, I will absolutely acknowledge that. But if you're asking me if there's anything that really stands out, I already talked about the drumming. Everything else, pretty much hitting for par for what I expect from these ladies. So there's not really a whole lot to touch on. This is probably going to be a pretty short review. Let me get my thoughts together. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything. And I'll see you in the review, and we'll talk about it. Well, there you go, folks. That was Aldious with a live performance of Refire. This was a request from Zachary Loomis. And this was actually Zachary's prioritized request for the month of March for being a silver tier member on the Patreon page. So there you go, Zach. Hope you enjoyed the show, man. Okay, yeah, I thought about it, and I didn't miss anything. So this is going to be a pretty short review. So don't take it personally. And I'm not going to sit here and talk for 20 minutes. It just, I don't really see the need for it. So anyway, let's get to the score, and we'll go from there. On a scale of 1 to 10, I am going to give that a 7.8. Yep, 7.8. I feel good about that score. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Okay, first things first, 7.8. What does that mean? Well, A 7.8 would translate to a really good scale rating. So overall, I think this was a really good presentation, okay? It would also get 4 out of 5 stars. Yes, 4 out of 5 stars. And a B+ letter grade. Yes, B as in boy. So there you go. 7.8, really good skill rating, 4 out of 5 stars, and a B+ letter grade. Now, how did I come up with that score? Haha! So glad you asked. Okay, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like this is the most amazing song I've ever heard. I'm also not going to sit here and pretend like it's the most amazing song I've ever heard from Aldious. I've heard better songs just from Aldious. Forget about every other band we've had on the channel. Just from Aldious alone, by Aldious' own standards, this is not the best song I've heard from them, okay? Now, having said that, does that mean it's a bad song? No, not by any stretch. It's a really good song. I'm just not going to sit here and blow things out of proportion and go, oh, it deserves a 10. No, it does not. It doesn't even deserve a 9, and honestly, I tried to put it up in the 8s. I just couldn't do it. I didn't feel comfortable putting it up in the 8s, guys. I'm sorry. I'm giving it the score I honestly think it deserves. Now, how did I come up with that score? Very simply, it's a really good song across the board. The songwriting all made sense. Everything about the song made sense. The chordal progression flowed well, transitioned well from section to section, from phrase to phrase. Instrumentally, everybody sounded really good across the board. Guitars sounded really good. It sounded crisp. There have been a couple of the videos I've done from Aldious where the guitars, I mean, don't get me wrong, they sounded good, but they sounded a little, comparatively to this, sounded a little muddy. On this video, the guitars sounded really crisp, really bright. And part of me likes that, part of me doesn't. Part of me likes a little bit of a thicker sound when it comes to guitar, and especially when we're talking about chunking away. But I think for the purpose of this song in this video, I think it sounded just fine having that little bit of a crispness to it, a little bit of a brightness to it. Even in the chunking, it was a little bright. I talked at length about the drummer and what the drummer was doing. I'm not going to talk about it again. Just know that I absolutely appreciated everything the drummer was doing in this. Vocally, everything sounded just fine from her, and from the backing vocals as well. All the vocals sounded really good across the board. I don't have any complaints about the song. I'm not going to sit here and say that I have any gripes about the song, because I don't. Even the length of the song was fine. I know it's 6:10, but honestly, at least a minute and a half, if not more, was on the intro. Now, could the intro have been short? Okay. Here's where people are going to get their pitchforks out. I do think the intro could have been short. The reason is, number one, that track that they were using, there was no finality. I mean, they literally pulled a rapid linear fade. Like when the band was all set, they gave some sort of a cue, and you heard it happen right before the 4 hits on the hi-hat. You heard the track dip down in volume. Someone was moving a slider down. So that track had no definitive ending. It wasn't like, let's see, what could I use as an example? It wasn't like O Fortuna, like that, and a lot of bands use this. Most notably, Ozzy Osbourne used it. I don't know if he still does or not, but I know for a fact Ozzy used this in the 80s to the 90s. He would open his show with O Fortuna, a selection of O Fortuna, and it would get to the apex where the choir was, really resonating, and the instrumentation was resonating, and the percussion was resonating. It hit that apex, and they go into as soon as they hit the apex, they had the cutoff right into the very first song. That is planned. That is time. And the show is going to start on that downbeat, right at the top of the apex. This didn't have an apex. This didn't have an ending. This was just a looping track that just kept going on and on and on and on and on, and they pulled a fade on. There was no definitive ending to it. So could they have made the intro shorter? Yes, they absolutely could have. The lady's going to come on stage sooner. Instead of waiting for a whole minute to go by before they started going on stage, they could have done it at the 30-second mark, or even when the track started, they could have started making their way. So that could have been made shorter, especially since, like I said, the track really didn't go anywhere. There wasn't any grandioseness to it. There wasn't any apex to it. There wasn't any, how should I put this? There wasn't any real emotion behind that track. There wasn't any growth. The track just kept going on and on and on and on and on and on and on. So I understand the usage of track. I do, you know, to introduce the band and get the band to come out, but I don't feel like that track really went anywhere. So they could have made it shorter. Let's see. I think that's pretty much my only gripe about the whole thing. Everything else made perfect sense. So yeah, I mean, like I said, I've heard better songs from Aldious. They've set a pretty high bar for themselves. Their live show looked good. It was one of those live shows, especially from a first song standpoint, your show opener standpoint. They did everything they needed to do. Let's just quickly go down the checkbox. Stage presence was there, check. Stage energy was there, check. Stage interaction. No, wait. No, there was a couple points where the lead vocalist interacted with the guitar and with the bassist. So okay, that got checked. Crowd interaction. Yeah, lead vocalist did a great job of it. Guitar players did too to some extent. That got checked. Showmanship got checked. Production, nah, not really. But everything else got checked. So, okay, so the live show did have a small impact. I've seen better live shows from them, but they did check all the boxes off. So it did help. Not a lot, but it did help a little bit. So yeah, 7.8. I feel good with that score. I think that's exactly what this song deserves. I do have a question before we do end. I do have a question for Aldious fans. This song being used as the show opener. One of the things I've talked about I've talked about song or set lists, and you're writing out your set list, figuring out what songs go where in your set list. One of the things I've always talked about is the two most important songs are your first song and your last song. You don't want to use your biggest hit at the time. You don't want to use your number one selling hit as your song opener, or as your show opener, or as your show closer. But you do want to have songs that people know, people recognize, and people associate that song with that particular band. A song that's well known among fans. But it also has to have the high energy, especially as a show opener. You want to have a high energy song. This song absolutely qualified from that standpoint. It had great energy, fantastic drive. My question is this. Is this a song among Aldious fans that is well known? Not the number one hit, but it's not just some obscure B-side that hardly anybody knows. Is this a song that is well known and well regarded amongst Aldious fans? If it is, then it's a great show opener at that point. I'm just not sure if it qualifies in that regard. It has the energy, yes. It has the drive, yes. It's an attention getter, absolutely. Is it well known and well regarded? That's my only question. If it is, then no worries, no complaints. But yeah, 7.8. I feel good with that score, and that's where we're gonna stay. So let's wrap everything up here in a nice shiny bow, shall we? We have a 7.8, which is a really good scale rating, 4 out of 5 stars, and a B+ letter grade. Take your pick, I don't care, whichever one of those floats your boat. Final word, final score, I have spoken. Well, that's gonna do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope y'all enjoyed the show. Hopefully I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, I did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make any difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, well then by all means feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for the night, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.